and have another good day today. All right, so since I really wasn't supposed to talk, I thought what I would do is share some of the things I've learned over the last 4 to 6 weeks on modules. I'm trying to work as closely as I can with the Go team on this stuff to really help with the user experience. So I'm going to share with you the good and the bad of the user experience this morning, share with you things that are coming, things that are getting fixed. That way, as you start writing code and using modules, at least you'll have an idea of how to get out of some of the pain points that we're going to have for another month or so. Also, I decided that I wanted to show you how bad I am at writing code. So I didn't practice anything today. I may have to copy and paste some stuff. I may have to look up some stuff. I may ask you for help. So you can see how I struggle, like anybody else, writing code. All right, let's jump into it. What time is it? 10 o'clock. So I got 45 minutes. We'll be done in 45 minutes. OK, so let's just talk a little bit about what's going on with modules. And I'm going to be working with VS Code. One of the nice things about the VS Code editor is that the Go team has gotten access to the editor integrations over there at Microsoft. So I think at the end of the day, the VS Code integration is going to be some of the best with modules. That being said, we've got really great people working on VI, and the GoLand editor is always pretty up to date with everything. All right, let me close this out. Let's just talk about some basics here. We're going to write a bunch of code as much as we can over the next 45 minutes to get an understanding of what's going on. Now, I really want to make sure my machine is completely clean when we start here so we don't see any magic going on. There's 2 caches that are on your machine if you're not aware of it. There's a build cache that is going to be based on this variable right here. So what I'm going to do, at least right now, is head over to this area on my machine. Just double check if there's anything in there. What was that called? Go build. I think I already cleared it this morning, to be honest with you. Just there it is. OK, there is some stuff in there. So this is your build cache. So anytime you're building binaries on your machine, the Go ecosystem is going to keep a lot of that stuff there to help speed up your builds. I really want to make sure that I'm on a clean machine right now. You don't have to, nor should you be doing any of this stuff that I'm doing right now. Just leave that stuff in place. I just want to clean that out. Now, there's another cache when it comes to modules, and that's going to be in your Go path. So let me get over there under PKG. Now, if you're still in so you're going to hear me say Go path mode. Before modules, we all worked inside of a Go path workspace. I think one of the biggest challenges that the Go team had and has is the backwards compatibility promise that they're always providing. If the Go team could have thrown Go path out the door and not had to worry about it, this would have been easy peasy. But they're having to maintain backwards compatibility with Go path, and this is some of the real pain that we're seeing in the transition. So you could see architectural folders here too. I don't. That's all cleaned out. But you see that mod and that SumDB folder. So this is where the modules are going to be downloading, right here in GoPath. A lot of people were like, I thought we were trying to get rid of GoPath. Why did you put this in GoPath? That is a point of contention. But in 1.14, the next release, there should be an environmental variable that lets you set this, which is really important because when you start trying to do your CI builds, you're going to want to control where this is. But right now, it's going to be in your GoPath PKG. Now, I'm going to clean this out. Now, Go, if you're not aware, has a Go clean command. And normally, we use that to clear out any files during that build, even the bin folder. And they've added a dash mod cache to this. Now, the thing is, I've just run that, and it's just really gotten rid of the mod folder. It's kept the SumDB folder, which is basically, from my perspective, just a database of checksums for the modules that we're using. We'll talk a little bit more about that as we go on. But what I want to at least do is I really want to make sure that this machine is clean. So I'm going to be completely wiping everything down. There's no references to anything now on this machine. OK, so let's go back one more. All right. So I'm going to work from this place on my machine, which is not my Go path. My Go path actually starts with that folder Go. So I'm going to work completely outside of the Go path while we do this. And I want to see if we have enough time to do a couple of things. I want to build a small little application that doesn't do a lot, but enough to where we're going to be pulling in some third-party dependencies and look at how the editor integration is, see what's going on with the cache. We'll talk a little bit more about modules. And if we have some time, maybe we'll build a really simple third-party package for ourselves. We'll version it, and we'll see how we can pull some of that stuff in for those of you who are working or writing third-party packages. Now, we don't have time to get into all of this conversation around project structure, but what I'm going to do is make a directory called service as if we were going to write and create a service. And I'm just going to go in service, and normally when I'm writing any kind of code, I'll make a directory called command, and we'll work from there. So I'm going to bring up Visual Code at this point. I'm going to have a command. I'm just going to name the command. Maybe we'll call it, we're going to write a sales API. And in here, I'm going to put a file called main.go. And we're going to just start writing some code right in here. So we're going to be writing maybe an application. Maybe what we'll do is build a silly little web service that has to do a couple of things as it relates to some third party. So let's at least get our main function in here. So let's get some main going here. We need main. And what I like to do when it comes to main anyway is I usually have a function called run that returns an error so we can manage that. So we can just at least start setting up some stuff here for that. That's good. And then basically we can just say if error, we'll call main. We'll get all that good stuff in here. And, you know, that's OK. What did I do here? Oh, come on, Bill. I love pair programming, by the way. This is a beautiful thing. OK. We're going to call run, and obviously, if there's a problem, we're going to want to. I love this. Everybody's looking at this. Bill, you screwed up. How are you doing? All right, maybe we'll do like an OS exit or something here, right? OS exit. And if you notice, I just hit save on the editor. And these imports just popped in. And that's because I am running in the background on save the Go imports tooling. So here's something that was. Again, I want to share all the stumbling blocks that the Go team had when modules came in. There's a handful of tooling today that exists out there that was not module aware, like Go imports. Looking for the imports right now, this was easy, was a standard library. And so one of the biggest challenges the Go team had was, how are we going to convert all of this tooling that's out there, the stuff that we own and the community, to make sure that everything's working with modules. So one of the things they decided to do was to write a service called Go Please, to basically try to consolidate all of the tooling into one place. And the Go Please server, which gets launched as soon as you run VS Code, implements a protocol called the Language Service Protocol, which was defined by Microsoft specifically for VS Code and is now an open standard. So the Go Please server, once you open up this editor here, is going to get launched. And the editor is going to be talking to Go Please about everything that's happening inside the editor. So something happens, VS Code goes, hey, Go Please, this is what happened. And Go Please goes, OK, here's some information. So it's this kind of request-response situation. What we're going to run into very soon is sometimes the editor doesn't know something has changed and therefore can't tell the language server, hey, something's changed, and therefore the language server can't come back to the editor and say, well, here it is. And so these are some of the things that they're looking at within really the next few weeks to fix, and you'll see some of the pain because of that. All right, so what do we got here? We got our main, we got our run, we're going to do some things. This is an application, it's going to have to start up, and so we're going to need a little bit of configuration. Nobody writes their own configuration packages, so we'll bring that in maybe as a third party. So one of the things we need to do with configuration, at least what I like to do, is we're going to need a config struct, so we'll do that. We'll get a config struct. I don't like having a name type for that. And we're going to need some sort of host maybe for this thing, right? So maybe what we'll do again is we'll have a host.
Equals.
What do you mean equals?
Config struct, not CFG. Equals.
Oh, man. Maybe I should. Actually, let's just keep going for a second. All right. Come on. I told you I want to live on the edge. But I also don't want to spend too much time doing syntax here. So I'm going to actually steal something just so we can get to the right thing. And as you notice, I don't need an equals because I am constructing the CFG variable using this literal type to its 0 value. So didn't need an equal there. But I do need a little bit of configuration with some defaults. But the key now is I need to take this value that I'm constructing on line 17 and create set up these fields with the actual defaults or any overrides. So to do that, what I'm going to do is bring in this call right here. We'll fix this in a second with the inside the if. But I want you to notice a couple of things right now. I'm going to bring in a third-party package called conf. This is a package I wrote. It's part of the Arden Labs organization in GitHub. And it's going to basically, using that pointer semantics, take that config value. We're going to pass it to parse. It's going to deal with the defaults. It's going to deal with all of that. And what we can do right now, just to keep things simple, is if there's an error, we'll return the error and there. But here's the problem. Magically, it looks like, even though I've cleared my cache, which is always mind-blowing to me, it's identified somehow. Go imports is identified. Maybe it found it somewhere in another project. That github.com arnlabs.conf is the package that matches that. Oh, what did I forget to do? Oh, man. What did I forget to do when I set up this project? Oh, I forgot to initialize modules, didn't I? Oh, Bill, you're a bad person. OK. Nothing is actually going to be able to happen here because I haven't even initialized modules yet. Remember, I'm not working inside my Go path, so we've got to do it. We need this module file that's going to give the module system information about this code, internal imports, and the whole thing is our dependencies. Look at me just jumping into writing code. All right, so let's do a couple things here then. Since we're going to be at the root of this project, we're going to have to do this go mod init call. But it's not enough to just say go mod init. We've got to basically name this module. Even your applications at the end of the day are modules. So we have to name it. Now, the idiomatic way of naming the module is usually the URL or the canonical URL to where this code is going to be in source control. So what I'm going to do is pretend right now that this code is here is going to be in Arden Labs /service. And if I do that, it should create that mod file, and it did, and that's pretty cool. And now any internal references will be leveraging that name from the module system. This group of code, even though it's an application, is a module named github.com arnlabs service, and it knows that we're writing code in version 113, so we'll be compatible with those versions. OK, so now what? Now I'm back over here. I've made these code changes already. And I'm going to have to, doesn't really, oh, it did, it brought it in. This is really fun. I am so confused. This is my life. This is going to be a little bit of your life with modules. 1, I cleared my cache, and I don't know how it got in there. 2, the editor knows about this thing. 3, it's not in the go.mod file yet, and I'm confused. So. I don't know. I don't know. These are all the things that I'm learning. This is why I didn't want to practice this too much, because I wanted you to experience. Yeah, it's all going to get better. OK, so where is my brain right now outside of a level of confusion? My brain is, I need to at least bring this, this module, basically, or the module of code in that repo to be able to use that package needs to come in. So when it comes to VS Code, a lot of times all you need to do is run reload window, which you see at the top of this. is the most recently used, right? Because I'm using it a lot. Now, anytime you feel like the editor is out of sync with the Go Please server, like I did now, you can close and open up that file. But I find in VS Code the reload window works really well. So if you notice, a couple things have happened now. I've got a go.sum file, so that's cool. And now in the go.mod file, a couple of things happened. So when I reloaded the window, essentially that gave the editor the ability to go tell the Go Please server what was going on, and we ended up running a go mod tidy behind the scenes, which now means that this package should be in that module cache, or I should say the module should be in the module cache, and it also was able to identify the latest version of this, which is 1.1. So maybe what we'll do I didn't mean to do that. I'll run that. Maybe what we'll do real quick, yeah, keep Chrome. Come on now. What's going on? All right. So let's go back into that Go path, PKG. I should have some things in here now, and I do. That's kind of cool. And I should be able to go into the mod folder. And there it is. And you can see all this. I really don't know how any of that happened. But that's OK. And we're going to go into, let's just jump into GitHub real quick. If you've never looked at this, let's see what we have there. I want that ARN Labs. OK. ARN Labs, there it is. And there it is. So this is the module that we brought down. And even if we were to look at this, we can see the source code. So here's the source code for that module that we're going to be building against, basically. It's all right there. OK, so where are we right now in our little application? We've gone ahead and we brought in a third-party dependency. Go Imports was able to bring that in there. We did some reloading of a window. And at that point, everything came into the module file. Now, a couple things about the sum file at a high level. The Go team really thought out everything related to the dependency management. And what we're seeing here is basically a hash that's calculated on the source code that's associated with this module. So the way I like to think about modules is that if we were to go into the repo for this third-party package that we just, let's go bring that up in GitHub there. So there's the conf package. So as we already know, we're managing source code in repositories. So this is the repository for the conf package, right? And this is where that code lives. And if you look here as well, I do have some tags for different versions that I've been creating. So one of the things I learned, it took me about 4 weeks to figure this out, to be honest with you. So one of the things that I learned is what the Go team has created here is this idea that this tag or version of code in the repo is going to get packaged up, and it can be treated like this standalone kind of repo of code. And what that now is going to mean is the very first time somebody goes to fetch this, and we can go through the proxy server is going to create that module that we saw on disk here. It's going to create this module. It's going to be able to cache it. And now what's going to happen is when we want that particular module, we're going to be able to go out to the proxy server. And instead of hitting GitHub, we can hit the proxy server, bring down this compressed version with that version, and we'll have it. And no matter what proxy server you hit, if it's there and it's cached, you can get it quickly. If not, it will go pull it and cache it. But here's the scary part, to be honest with you. What if somebody comes in here? What if I lose my mind one day? Everybody's using 1.1.0. What if I go and delete that tag? Change some code. Retag it, 1.1.0. That wouldn't be very nice of me, would it? Because your code says what? I want to use 1.1.0. And I've just changed what 1.1.0 is. Go team understood that. So what we're doing is creating these hashes against what the code was at the time this module was pulled. So there's another server that's running back there called the SumDB database. Again, Google's running that. And what that is, really, is like a master database of these hashtags. Therefore, I don't care what proxy server ever has a cached version of 1.0. I don't care if you even go and hit GitHub directly. What this file is going to let us do is have a guarantee that anytime somebody brings down this module, that it is the same exact code that was fetched the first time and fetched today. This is a really important part of the module system because this is really what's going to give us that durability, and it's going to give us the reproducibility that we're going to want, regardless of where we're building this code, what environment we're building it, and where we're pulling this module from, this compressed container of code. We're going to get a guarantee that it's the same code every single time. Now, the only way this works, the only stopgap here is we don't know what this hash is until we pull a module for the first time. So the very first time that some database pulls it, it's going to generate the hash. Right? Until that, we don't really have a record of it. So one of the things that are going to be coming on the command line, I think it's going to be in 1.14, is for the third-party developers. And there's going to be a best practice that says, if you push some code and you tag it with a version, run this command so you're the first one telling the sum database to fetch it so this hash can come in. And then you can control and make sure that that the hash is there, and then we won't have any issues. So that's coming because it's that first pull that's going to give us the security on these modules. Now, okay, great. So we've done all of that. We've got all this in place. What would be nice maybe is we'll try to pull in like one more module here. Where are we at? It's 10:20. So maybe what we'll do anyway, just to have some fun in here, is see if we could very quickly maybe build our own little package. We'll tag it. We'll see if we can get it to come down. And we've got like 20 minutes. So we'll just do something really silly just to do that. So let's go into, this is going to be crazy, but let's go in and see if we can do something so you can experience what third-party developers are going to have to do. So let's create some new repository. Maybe we'll just call it user for now. We'll make it public. We'll initialize it with a README. And so all of you could use this later today. We'll do an Apache license, right? So let's go and we'll create this repository. There it is. We've done it. All right. We want to work with this thing right now. So let's come back in here. And I'm going to go back to, let's see, just go back to my Go path. We'll come back out. And it probably, what do we want to do? Clone this thing, maybe right here. That should work. Beautiful. There we are. We've got that user right now. Maybe we'll go in there. We'll do some code bomb. There we are. We're coming in. Oh, we are going crazy. Here we are. We're going to write our own third-party package right now for a user. So what should we call this? Maybe user.go is pretty good. Uh-oh, what am I forgetting to do again? I'm such a bad developer. OK, what should the name of this module be? It should be, right, the canonical name of, which I'm missing a G on, but that's OK. That should be the name of it. So whatever, use this as the idiomatic name for this. So I've now initted it. I'm a good developer again. I've got my mod file again. There it is. We can now start writing some code here. This is going to be package user. So let's just do something really quick. Let's just define a user struct, maybe like this. Maybe we'll just have a name. We'll make everything exported just to do something quick, because it's not really important. Maybe even we'll have an email. Maybe what we'll do is write a create function, right, that can create a user based on, I don't know, a name and an email. There we go. And we'll return a user out using our pointer semantics. And my linter is going to complain about my comments. So we'll do a little bit of that right there to get you out of my way, because I hate those squiggly lines. Boy, I hate squiggly lines. I turn as much of that stuff off because it just gives me a headache. I see some people where half the screen is like colorized, and I'm like, ah. I did try to go back to like just black and green one time, and I couldn't do that either. So I've gone back to the bare minimum. All right, so let's just do something silly here. Let's just create that user, right? We'll do some basic construction right here. We've got the name. We've got the email. We're not doing anything that fancy here. There it is. And we'll return. There it is. We now have the most amazing third-party package to create users. Now, I'm feeling pretty confident about my package, so much so that I'm not even going to write a test for it, because my stuff always works. You know what else I'm going to do? Because I'm so confident in my coding abilities here, that we're going to go and, let's see here. We gotta add all this, right? So what we're going to do is we'll git add all, right? So we'll get all that in there. And that's cool. And then what do we got to do? We got to at least commit that stuff there. So git commit, we'll commit that. You know, awesome, right there. There we are. We'll push that up. And if all that works, oh, this is good. Go, 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 go. All right, we've got our now user package. Look at the documentation's badass. Now, I am so confident in this that what I'm going to do is I'm going to tag this already. I mean, this is ready to go, okay? All right, let's go. We'll push origin and push this tag to release party. Woo! I know some of you wait years to do this. I don't have that much time left. Okay, we now have a version up here that we want to use. And it is, let's see, we should be able to see our tag. There it is. Okay, now we got to start creating users in our little app here. So let's get back over here. And let's immediately try to use this API. So we could basically say that we know we're going to have a user package, and it has a function called, create. Come on, Bill, create. And what we're going to do is it's going to have a name, and we're going to have this email. So email.com. I'm not sharing my email with you right now. Not that it's, private. All right, and maybe what we'll do after all that is, wow, I didn't even do any error handling. Do you realize how I didn't even do any error handling. This is how confident I am that you'll create a user every single time. Wow, okay. And we'll just maybe just print it for now just to get some code going in here. So now, what has just happened here? I mean, we know this is code that should be working, but if you look at the error message right now, it's saying undeclared name. Now, one of the things I've asked the language team to do is to stop making it look like the LSP server is broken, because it's not broken. It just knows nothing about this package, and therefore it can't do anything there with it. And let me see if Go imports. Ooh. All right. So here's a situation where Go imports can't find anything for this package. There's nothing going on there. So what are we going to do? Now, one of the thing that the language team wants you to do when you're managing dependencies, we're adding and removing, is to use the go mod tidy command. The best practice is going to be use go mod tidy in your day in and day out to manage this list of dependencies. And only use go get if, one, you have to bring down a very specific version, or two, you want to update the current dependency list with potential later versions. So we're going to leave go get for doing like transient dependency updates, and we're going to leverage go mod or go mod tidy for everything else. Now, one of the things you already saw me do was we had the import there. I added the import. The editor was OK. I reloaded the window, which caused everything to go download. Let me show you another way that you can do this. All right? Another thing we can do, if you're just looking to download something, is I could go right into the module file. All right? I'm going to create a section there. And I can say, OK, we want GitHub github.com/rnlabs/user. And hey, I really want the latest version of that. Now, it hasn't done anything yet. All I'm saying to the module system at this point is I want the latest version based on that minimal version selection algorithm. Go find it, fetch it, download it, extract it. OK, how do I get it to do that? Well, we could just come back in our little application here and run go mod tidy. There it is. It went out. It found user. It found user. Downloaded it. I love it. And if I come back here, it's disappeared. Now, it should disappear because I don't have an import for it yet in the project. So I'm literally just using this mechanism to go tell go mod tidy to download the things that I need. So now let's try to see what happens here. If I come in here, say github.com/rnlabs/user. The editor didn't throw it away because I do have a reference, at least to a package name user. But we still really don't have any information because we're out of sync again. So I'm going to go and do my reload window. And yeah, create not declared, because it thinks it found some old version of this that I have played with before. Actually, I'm really happy this happened. I didn't even set this up. Because I don't want to use 002. I want to use my new release. How can I tell modules stop being smart and listen to what I want? All right. We could just go back into this module file and say, dude, no. I want you to use that. Now, I should be able to do this. I should be able to go mod tidy again. And it should pull down 1.0.0. It should. Look, it's really busy trying. Oh, boom. Which now means that if we come back in main here, just going to reload my window, I don't have any more issues. Yeah, modules. There we go. Pretty cool. So what I'm showing you right now is that. OK, so let's do one more thing in the last 15 minutes we have. All right? Let's break the API. Let's break it. Because I forgot to have the error handling in this API. Right? I forgot to do some error handling here. So why don't we come in and write a breaking change to the API. Now what we're going to do is say you can't call create, just get a user. It's going to have to have a user and an error, which now means that we're going to have to change the major version from 1 to 2. So let's do this. Let's save it. Come on now. I broke it. I have no. This is a social contract. I'm a nice person. I want to keep it. All right. Let's see what we got here. So we should see that. Oh, I'm in the wrong place. That's why I do that. All right. So we should see that that's changed. So I should be able to commit all of that and just break there. No. And we should be able to push that. Cool. Let's go. And we should be able to very quickly say, we got to tag this first, use it more, and go with a 2.0. Look, we're having release party after release party. Here we go. And there we go. We got to do that. So beautiful. We now have a new version, 2.0, with breaking changes. So what do our application developers now need to worry about? Well, the reality is that they should still be able to use the 1.0 version if they want, But if they're going to use 2.0, the version actually now represents, this major version really represents a completely different package. Think about it. Version 1 and version 2, even though it has some of the same canonical naming, it has to be different. So if I want to use version 2, I'm going to have to specify version 2. So let's see how we can do that. Now, for sure, what we're going to have to do is change the import. And this is how we're going to specify that we want to use a version other than 0 or 1. So the regular import assumes that we're talking about a 0 or 1. Now we're going to have to use a version 2 of this API. Now, at this point, let's see what happens if I reload the window and see if Go mod tidy at this point does what I want it to do. So here's the other problem. I've just done this, right? But remember, there's going to be some latency between the editor, well, not in the editor, but there's going to be a little latency while the Go Please server goes out and fetches that stuff. And one of the usability things they're going to be doing is giving us visual clues that that's happening. Right now, I don't really know if it's happening. These are all the little usability things that they're finally able to get to, which is why I'm stalling right now to go see what happens, hoping that it all works. Now, I don't know really, let's go look at Go mod file and see. Now, it may have pulled it down, but we don't really have it here. So what I'm going to do is come in here and say we want to use 2.0. Maybe, let's see what happens if I do that. I don't even know if this is, OK, so this is all still using because obviously this is still building. So that didn't necessarily work. So I'm going to come in here. I'm going to specify I want 2.0. Let's do a Go mod tidy at least here. Go mod tidy here. Let's see what happens. So that was pretty quick. Errors parsing go.mod. Oh, this is nice. OK, invalid module contains, so no, oh, I'm a bad Go developer. Oh, what did I do here? Interesting. This isn't the module name anymore, is it? That's the module name, isn't it? And the Go tooling kind of picked up on that. This is now the new canonical name, but what I need to tell people is if you're using this, then this is going to be your version 2. So let's see what we can do in 2 minutes to see if we can get this to work here. I'm going to save that again real quick. Totally forgot about having to do that. Let's commit these changes. Let's git tag. What were we using before? Let's do. Want to go? Oh, we're going to stay in the 2 family. OK, we're going to stay there. And I don't think that was a minor fix, but whatever. Origin version 2.1.0. Boom. Oh, sorry, on the bottom of the screen. So let's see that finished. So we should have this right here. Let's double check. Let's see if we can get this working properly. Now we've got the 2.1.0, which has a mod file that says that you should be using version 2. So now I should be able to come back into our application here, say I want to use 2.1. And if this doesn't work, well, that's OK. That's why God invented whiskey. OK, let's see. Beautiful. Doing it, doing it, doing it, doing it, doing it. Boom. Still got some problems here. So obviously, there's something that, Go mod 7. So obviously, I'm doing something wrong, like maybe I need to be doing that, Mr. Kennedy. So we'll do this one more time. Because what I keep forgetting, actually myself, this is really interesting. I keep forgetting that v2 is now part of the module's name, that this isn't some kind of tag, this isn't some sort of annotation. Like, it's really the name of the module now, and I keep forgetting that which is why modules keeps telling me, Bill, you're using the wrong name. Now I'm using the right name. Now that's there, and now that looks set, and now hopefully, if I reload this, this doesn't want to build. Beautiful. You don't want to build. And now we can do what we're supposed to be doing in Go, which is our error handling. And we're good to go. Beautiful. We just now... I don't create errors. You see where my brain is, okay? Ah, good. All right, that's it. I hope you started, you got a good feel for modules. If you're not using modules already, I really do love the system. I think it's the right way to go. I'm going to be blogging a lot over the next few months to help you with best practices. You got to see some versioning over there as well. And I promise you, over just the next few weeks, even over the next couple of weeks, the usability of VS Code is going to be amazing. You're going to know what's going on. You're going to have those visual cues. The language server is going to be able to identify files that are changing for you in the background. We're not going to have to do all of this stuff. And it is. Just a little patience. It's coming. All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Bill. Thank you.